What's up, guys? Dr. Uz here from the Dr. Uz Talks YouTube channel. I just wanted to say thank you again to everybody who's been liking, watching the videos, and subscribing. So, listening to a guy basically talking about random stuff. So, what did I want to talk about today? It is Google Gemini. And I was watching TV recently and basically saw an advert for Google Gemini. And it's one of the saddest things that I've seen, man. Given all the stuff that is in the news about, about loneliness and increases in the amount of suicides that people are having there, generally everybody feeling a bit isolated and alone. For some reason, instead of actually trying to tackle this problem and instead of actually trying to create a society where actually we can make this better, for some reason, this seems to have been farmed out to the tech industry, and the tech industry has created products that are basically there to treat a problem that we didn't really have maybe, 20 or so years ago. And what's happened is that basically AI, right? AI, okay, it has its uses in certain things. We use AI in medicine and dentistry, and it kind of helps with diagnostics and stuff. But in terms of like AI being able to take over like absolutely everything, it's very limited, right? There are some things that are always going to require human interaction. And you can have AI to an extent, but unless you have a massive advance in robotics at the same time there as well, it's going to be difficult to replace, all these trades, right? So AI now has got a bit of a problem because they've told everybody that, oh, look, we can solve this problem, this problem, this problem. But actually, in reality, what's happening is that all the AI is doing is allowing kids to cheat on their exams, right? And it's allowing people to become lazy in learning something and just basically just farm all of their learning out to the AI. So the companies now, given the fact they're promised everybody everything, is like, right, we've got this technology, we've got to now show a use for it, as opposed to most technologies where basically it's like, we got a problem, this is how we're going to solve it. AI and a lot of technologies there are basically ones that are, oh, like, here's this technology, like crypto, right? And I know some of you guys absolutely love crypto, but kind of like crypto, it's like, okay, here's a technology and let's find a use there for it. And this is what AI is basically, right? So the newest thing that seems to have happened is that Google have kind of thought, okay, what's the best kind of, whether they've done this intentionally or not, it's definitely what it looks like it's doing. Whether it is, like I said, whether it's intentionally or not, Google have now looked at the fact that, oh, there's a loneliness epidemic, right? And let's use AI to tackle that loneliness under the guise of the fact of trying to help people. Now, I don't know whether this actual one is, the Google Gemini one is actually in the US and in other countries, but it is in the UK. And in the UK one, I'll just describe it there to you. Basically what it is, we start off and there's this guy, he's sitting on a chair a bit precariously and he's kind of doing a quiz. He's doing a quiz on AI, and basically AI is testing him, right? So instead of looking through a book, he's basically using AI as his tutor in effect. Okay. And this is, okay, yeah, maybe we've got some kind of use test there for this or whatever. And he's getting excited by the fact that he's getting the answers kind of right. So instead of using critical thinking skills and being able to research through a book, now all of that is going through AI. So, okay, maybe that's okay. But then the next thing that we see is that we see a lady and she's basically doing her makeup, right? And she's talking to the AI as if it's like her friend. And she's doing the makeup by herself in her room. And she's like, oh, I can just talk to you and I can just interrupt you. And the AI is like, yes, you could do this, you could do that. And then the next one we see is a bunch of people at work. And they're basically asking AI to make them a draft email to basically to get off work, to skive off work, right? And it makes a draft email which sounds professional. And then another one is that there's a lady by herself and she's in her apartment and she's talking to the AI and saying like, oh, I had a dream and I had these spaghetti fingers and it was really weird. And, and then the AI is like responding there to her. And all of this, right, to me is really dystopian, right? When I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is terrible. So basically, we have all these people, right? One group of people are just like, oh, how can I skive off work easily? How can I trick my bosses into getting off work, right? The other ones there are substituting other human interaction for AI. And it's so weird how we're literally just like farming out our entire lives to AI and just allowing tech companies, right? And basically tech companies only care about money. They only care about the bottom line. And the fact that we're actually just farming out all of our lives and allowing them to be like, oh yeah, just control our lives, man. Just give us a direction, right? Give us the direction that you want us to go in is bizarre, right? It's absolutely weird. Like, so the first guy, he's substituting having interaction in a study group, right? Which is way better, okay, to AI. So it's just like, okay, you're gonna have human interaction with somebody saying, I've got the answer, whatever. Nah, I'm gonna let the AI test me because I've got no friends. First guy's got no mates. That's all there is to it, right? He's got no friends and he's like, okay, let me just go and ask AI. And then the second lady is like, she's getting ready for something and she's by herself again, right? She's by herself, no interaction with any other human, and is literally, she's talking to the AI, right? She's talking to the AI as if it's like, oh, this is my friend, and I'm gonna talk to you like there's an interaction with my friend. Like, back in the day, ladies would go and they'd be doing their makeups together, or they'd have family or whatever, and it's just like, okay, you don't need family, you don't need any friends, you just need this stupid bloody AI to talk to, right? And this is the first evolution. Imagine when this goes to, evolution 5, evolution 6, evolution 7, when we're actually having like interactive robots who are talking to you in the same way, right? Can you imagine this human interaction is going to become less and less and less, and you're farming out the ideal programming of this one thing to something else. And then when you meet a human, it's never going to be the same. When you meet a human, they're never going to live up to this robot that has been programmed to be perfect in every single way, right? And it's going to cause just generally so many problems. I forgot about one of the things in the advert. There's one guy, he's basically making some food. Obviously, he's doing it by himself. God knows why he's doing it by himself, but it's quite obvious this whole advert is based on people doing stuff by themselves, right? People doing stuff by themselves and having no interaction with another person. So he's making some food, and basically the AI is telling him how to make the food. So this is another step away from watching a YouTube video and the YouTube video being like, okay, this is what I do, this is how I do this, let's mix this together, blah, blah. It's a step away from that. You're in effect, basically, the AI is telling you exactly what to do, right? And you say, oh, the guy's like, oh, I don't have that ingredient. And then AI is like, oh, well, why don't you just use vinegar instead? Back in the day, people's parents, grandparents, they used to have a fun time together. I remember like my grandma, I'm not that great at cooking, but my grandma used to be with us and she used to be like lovingly making the stuff, and it would be like everybody would gather in the kitchen and it would be like, this is how we're mixing it and all. She'd be teaching everybody, right? And it'll be like amazing. This is grandma's secrets like being handed down. But no, we separated ourselves so much from everybody else. And this is coming from a guy who's a full-on introvert, right? I'm so introverted. I basically don't like to go to any parties or anything like that. But even I'm looking at this thinking, wow, you've literally separated yourselves from everybody else. This guy is now in his apartment by himself. He's asking AI how to help because he doesn't know anybody else who has the knowledge or skills or anything like that, right? Now, the thing is that, your parents, okay, when a lot of people they basically never see their parents for a long time, right? And suddenly when their parents are ill or they're dying, then suddenly it's like, oh, I regret not seeing them, I regret not doing this, etc., etc., right? And it doesn't take much to like pick up a phone and like, you know, go and speak to them. And look at this, you know, this guy is basically like, he's you know, contracting out his ability to kind of make this recipe to a bloody AI. Imagine if we had more human interaction. He could pick up his phone to his mom and he's like, oh mom, how do I make this? Do you know how happy that would make his mother to actually do that? But nah, everything's got to be contracted out. Now I'm going to get people in the comments saying, oh, maybe his mother's died and maybe he's got no parents, or maybe it's okay. Listen, there's always exceptions to the rule, yeah? But if we look directly at this, the whole theme of the advert is you don't need human interaction. What you actually need is interaction with our AI, and we will substitute everything there for you. And this is so dangerous and dystopian, man. It's reminding me of Blade Runner more and more as we go along. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Do you agree with that, or do you just think I'm getting old? I don't know. Until then, guys, we'll see you again next time.